who we are because what we have lived since we were very young. All our experiences and all influences that we have had. For example, here I have the culture of my country. Here I have the traditions of my family. Here I have what I've learned from religion, and here are the traumas of my childhood. And all of this is what our unconscious has engraved deep within us. And our character, our conscious mind has created a character that by the time we become adults, we have added so many things that we believe we are the character. And that's the reason that why for most of the people it's so difficult to change. Look at me. Can I take any new idea? Can I take any new paradigm? Any new anything? No. So what should I do? What can I do to learn anything? Yeah, let go. By letting go, I can see better my fears, my paradigms, my limiting beliefs, and all those things that we have added to that character that we believe I am. I believe I am. But we are much more than that. We can choose which of those things really want or not. And with these things, I have to think my limiting beliefs, my paradigms are always in, and not permitted me to allow to know anything. And when we are much more than that, I want to plant this seed in your brain and especially in your heart and in your subconscious that you can decide who you truly want to be. It's important. You can decide who you truly want to be. And most of the times, you decide to, wow, I want to go to my dreams, to my desires. And when you decide that, you have to think that, yes, what is most important is not the dream itself, many times, is the person you have to become to achieve it. And I grew up in a beautiful family, which in we weren't wealthy, we never lacked anything. And on the contrary, we had so many luxuries than the average family did in my country, Colombia, with no you, from South America. And maybe someone is wondering, what is a Colombian doing in Helsinki? Well, I'll tell you later. The point is, I grew up with a very strict father. And my father taught me a lot of things since I was a child, but most of those things were based on the rational mind, on a logical mindset, and with a sexist culture of men don't cry. Men has to be strong. And weaknesses, because the emotions are most of the times a weakness that a strength. And I remember that my father told me too, that I had to study something that would make money and get a job and work hard for many years, climbing to the corporate ladder, and after that, retiring from a good company. And with all of those things, I created a character that it was a tough character based especially on rational mind. And it was okay because I achieved a lot of things with that character. For example, I'm an industrial engineer, specialized in business administration with an MBA, and I achieved a high executive positions in financial companies in Colombia. Everything was okay, but until one day, the day when life itself and stress sent me a powerful message, what I call the pillow message. From 2006 to 2008, I had a lot of work. And with my team, I developed a big projects and I accumulate an enormous stress. And one Monday on January of 2008, I remember that I was in an important meeting and my secretary came to my office, interrupted me, pointing the phone, and told me, "It's your wife. She seems very stressed. You must answer." I took the phone. "My love, honey, honey, I want you alive. You have to quit. You can't continue like this." What had happened was that weeks before, I have had a nosebleed, an spontaneous nosebleed. And that day, one of my wife's colleagues had a nosebleed, fainted, was taken to the hospital, and a few hours later fell into a coma. He had had a stroke. And my wife related those events with my nosebleeds and the enormous stress I had, and that explained that call. I remember I told her, "Don't worry, baby, everything will be okay." And the next Sunday, when I woke up in the morning, I found my pillowcase entirely in blood. I remember that image. Imagine you discover your pillowcase, your white pillowcase, entirely covered in blood. And I was really scared. Then, obviously, I went to the doctor. And after test, due my stress, other symptoms, my lifestyle, I definitely was in a risk of having a stroke. Then I had to change a 180-degree change in my life. Or, in other words, I had to create a new character, an entirely different character. And that character allowed me change. I changed from wanting to be a CEO of the major company to inspire people to achieve their dreams. And that change was very difficult. I remember someone told me, "And you believe that standing on the stage, clowning around, you do pay your bills?" No, no. You have to get another job. Those words still echo in my mind. And I'm absolutely sure that when you will speak about your biggest dreams, you will encounter similar phrases like that. And you know what is worse? That maybe those words will come from people close to you, and it really hurts. But the most important thing and the worst thing is that the one who sabotage more or the most is in ourselves, is here in our rational mind. The voice that talked to us, our rational mind, you have to think that voice that is talking and talking why we can't do it. So if you want to go to your biggest dreams, you must silence it. And I have conducted more than 800 conferences and workshops in 14 countries. And I have impacted more than 130,000 people. So I can say, yes, yes, dreams do pay the bills and much more. It's okay to dream. It's okay to dream. It's okay to unmask the character that we believe we are and create a new one to transform our reality. For the past 15 years, I have played seriously with Lego pieces. That is a methodology called Lego Serious Play, with more than 12,000 people in 8 countries. And playing deeply, I have witnessed the power of what I called, of the power of silencing what I call the crazy voice in the house. And that's when my mantra, play more and think less, makes sense. Because when you silence the voice of your rational mind, we can give a space to our limbic and our reptilian brain that help us to break the limits when the rational mind has trapped us. Because there are the intuition, the subconscious, and the emotions that help us to do that. And if we can do that, we can construct and reconstruct our being. I didn't attend a bilingual school, so I had to study English before or after work. And for many years, the crazy voice in my house convinced me that that English that I have learned just enough maybe to tourists or for basic conversations. But this year, testing this theory, I challenged myself, and I'm here giving a conference for the first time in my life in English. Yeah, 10,042 kilometers from home. And in your face, I'm telling to my rational mind, I'm telling to the crazy voice in my house. And yes, 10,042 kilometers from my home. And the caterpillar does not fully live until it becomes a butterfly. Therefore, to live fully, you must go deep inside your true self, not the character you believe you are. No, your true self. Discover your real potential, release it, and be able to fly, to go to the sky. I wanted you to think about your life. The sun at the top represents the future. The sun at the bottom represents the past. The key is this: we don't know. We don't know how much sun we have left up there. And you might think that there is a lot, but maybe it's very little. Or the opposite. Maybe you think that is little, but maybe it's a lot. When I was a child, I saw my grandma as an old woman. She was 60. And I thought she would live life until, or she would die soon. And no, she lived until she was 85. She had a lot of sand. But at the same time, I remember Juan Camilo Ruiz, a classmate when I was 12. One day, he was kidnapped. And few days later, he was killed. I'm sure that if we would have asked him about how much sand he thought he had left, maybe, or I'm absolutely sure that he would have answered a lot, maybe, or at least 50 years more. But no, he had very little. So I tell you again, we don't know the future. The past is gone. We just have this. We just have this. And this is now. And if you look closely, you will be the sun always in motion. So please don't stay stuck there. Please get up. Please wake up and silence the crazy voice in your mind and go for everything you really desire and you really dream. Thank you.